Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another Crash Bandicoot theory video. The topic of discussion in today's video is going to be me taking meta video game mechanics and trying to inject some lore into it to explain it in-universe. So the title and the thumbnail says Crash Bandicoot is immortal. So we're going to be tackling how Crash Bandicoot can die and then has another life and can continue on. So rather than it being a video game mechanic, there's actually some lore that was given to us in Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. So I'm going to play a clip for you guys, and we'll go on from there. So the clip is going to be audio only, and it's going to be Dr. Cortex speaking in one of the flashback tapes.
My experiment! Embryo, the Revive-o-tron. Oopsie poopums.
So, as you heard, when Crash Bandicoot dies, Cortex says to Embryo, Brio, the Revive-o-tron. So there is a device in the Crash Bandicoot series, in canon, in lore, that revives Crash Bandicoot. So now this is where we're going to dive into the theory portion. We already got the lore out of the way. So in video games, not all platformers, but in most platformers, you collect 100 MacGuffins and you're rewarded with a 1-up, a free life. In Crash Bandicoot, you collect 100 Wumpas. In Super Mario Brothers, you collect 100 coins. There are also the quote-unquote mugs that you can see Crash Bandicoot's face also equals a 1-up. But how can all of these different circumstances all tie together nicely and add into the lore that we already know? So we know Wumpa Fruits, we know the character faces, and we know the Revive-o-tron. So this is what I've come up with. As always, excuse the Microsoft Paint images. I'm not a Photoshop master. So think of the Revive-o-tron as like sort of a Game Boy. On the front, you have a power button, and on the back, you have a little cartridge slot. So this is how I envision the Revive-o-tron. So in order for the Revive-o-tron to work, you're going to need to power it up. So all machines need a power source. So this is the back of the Revive-o-tron, and this is one of the Crash 1-up tokens, whatever you want to call it. I believe that the Revive-o-tron needs a power source, and that these discs are actually batteries. So you slide the 1-up into the back of the cartridge when you collect it, and simply hit the button. So next time you die, you get brought back to life by the Revive-o-tron. So that's how we will connect the 1-up tokens, the mugs, whatever you want to call it. But how are we going to get the Wumpa Fruit? So you'll need 100 Wumpa Fruit and the Revive-o-tron. Check it out. Fruits can actually be converted into batteries. So if you go to Google and you ask, can a fruit act as a battery, it says, the chemical substances in fruits, particularly acidic citric fruits, can be converted into energy and used to power small items. So if one fruit can power something up, imagine using 100 fruits to power something up. You need citric fruits to act as a battery. But this is where we run into our first hiccup. Wumpa Fruits aren't a real fruit. So we have to kind of work around this. I Googled what fruits work best for batteries. What fruit can be used to make a battery? Any citrus fruit, such as lemons, limes, oranges, and grapefruit, will work because they all contain citric acid for the electrolyte. However, sweet, ripe ones are less effective. We have also heard of experiments using apples and pears, although these apparently don't work as well. So they work, just not as well. I say this because in the Japanese versions, Wumpa Fruit are actually called apples. So we know that Wumpa Fruits aren't one-for-one apples because, first off, they don't look like apples, and second off, their insides are purple. So we know they're not 100% apple tasting, but again, I'm trying to get as much detail as I can to make sure that this theory actually holds weight. So I tried to think, how else would we know the flavor of a Wumpa Fruit? And then it hit me. We've actually had G Fuel with Wumpa Fruit flavor. So technically we've had a Wumpa Fruit flavor in real life. And here's what it tastes like. G Fuel and Activision co-developed the Wumpa Fruit flavor, which is inspired by Activision's new game Crash Bandicoot 4. The flavor, as if the sweet, delicious taste of an apple collided with the tangy, creamy taste of a mango. So right there, it is apple and mango. So we have read that apples can indeed make batteries, and that it has a mango taste, which mangoes have some acid to them. So I believe that 100 Wumpa Fruit could make up the equivalent to one of the 1-up tokens as far as battery life goes. So the way that Crash Bandicoot returns back to life after dying every time in continuity is through this Revive-o-tron device. It may not be 100% how I described it, but I think that this is a pretty good interpretation of how it could act in the series. So what do you guys think? Do you think that theory makes any sense? I'd like to hear your opinions in the comment section. Let me know if you think I'm crazy or if you like it. And as I said in another video, if you guys have any questions about lore or continuity that you'd like my opinion on or some theories, let me know in the comment section. And we're going to have another secret word that you could add into the comment section. So if you're still watching, say Revive-o-tron. Anyway, guys, you take care. Have a great night. See you next time.